Alright, hi everybody. It's raining out here, it's pretty wet, and I thought I had a baseline for the landscaping plan that we had, and since the computer crashed I can't find it, so we're going to kind of start over, and this is actually year one, just completed, so this is year two. However, a lot of it was cleaning. So I'm going to start out here, and I'm up for any ideas or recommendations or anything. There's a lot to do. So this is let's see, this is the north side of the lot, and it's totally open to the south, so this is full sun. Right now we have wax myrtles growing up like crazy, so that's been a little bit of a project. All of this brown area was completely covered in ivy, and it's, I mean, up into the trees, and just it's making everything really leggy and lengthy and scraggly. So I'm trying to get the ivy out from underneath and get these root mats up. You're going to see a lot of that. That's been an ongoing project for the past year. Kind of cut my hand pretty bad doing it too, but there's some cool stuff. From right here, I'm thinking the best idea for this, since it's full sun, is going to be I'd like to put the grapevines here, but we'll see. It hasn't been done yet. I got to do something with this ivy. It's just impossible to even walk sometimes. Anyway, we have a plum tree. You see, it was knocked over in an ice storm, and now it's been kind of growing a little funky, so I'm finding all these. These were all hidden in the ivy, and you can see the plum trees are doing this crazy kind of growth, and I'm going to clean them all up. And I was able to push this plum back up and just kind of muck some mud under there. For right now, I'm going to tie them up though and get them to straighten out, and then knock them down about, you know, head level. Let's see what we got going on the other side. We have more of them. You know, we have Adler coming out here that's just going crazy. Alder coming out here. But this is really what it's like out here. You gotta come out here with some muckers. And so this is actually, on one side we have a water flow, and on the other side we have a bigger water flow. So up here we come in, roadies, and just then we got some beds up here. So this is actually bone dry in the summertime, so if that gives you guys any idea of what I could do. We don't want to go too far because we want to keep the dock in view, because we love it in the summer. But so we come down here, and we started a blueberry patch underneath this hemlock. But again, this is part of the natural springs that drop up and just get nice and muddy. But this will be bone dry again in the summer. Here's our rhubarb wintering. And then what we want to do is we're going to continue kind of a little bit interplantings with rhubarb and make this whole area blueberry, and then terrace. Should be the first terrace, and then we'll come up to the second terrace where we've already started one raised garden bed, and all our compost is all full and ready to go right here. So the second raised bed is going to go right here. Yeah, more on this later. I'm going to show you something that's been driving me nuts, but we're working with it. So coming up here, then our third terrace, this is just going to be our herbs and gardens and the stuff that we want for the kitchen or culinary uses, nice and close to the house so we don't have to get too wet. But we have blue Tuscan rosemary that went in, just some miscellaneous inner plantings. We'll come up this way. These are all, it's going to be a whole hedge of Mary Washington asparagus. Again, bookend with the Tuscan blue rosemary. And then this just more of a herb flower bed. Sedum. different, I think we have 3 different sages now. Just went to seed. I'm gonna get back on that one. Anyway, so this is a little bit closer, and then on this side we're gonna do it. This is mostly full sun, and then the fig, Olympia fig. I think that one's gonna go on the other side, but I just left it over here so it would stay out of the way of the one who keeps chopping down our trees. Anyway, this is gonna be terraced. A little bit of a walkway, it's a meandering walkway. It's gonna come through here, and then second terrace right here. We're walking through the septic drain field, so I'm not gonna do anything there. So down on this side, you can see we have some really great blueberries going on here. This is a new one we planted this year. Was it Vaccinium ovatum? Is a native species here. And so what the cool thing is with this, why this blueberry bush is surviving so well, is because it's interplanted with roses, and what that does at the base is it gives it this really nice thorny structure around it, so a natural structure, because since we're so close to the water, when we go and we do things like we plant our apple trees, then at night the little beavers like to come and then they eat our apple trees. And so far we're down about 6 trees, and I had it all planned out, but I took the tags off the trees, and so I'm not sure which one was Honeycrisp and what one was Gala. So I don't know, I'm just gonna have to go and get some more. So came up with this for right now. We had this drainage pipe. It was a quick fix. I gotta get some metal around this, but the metal's ugly, so I'm gonna try to do some sculptural work and maybe try to weld something up. The whole fence line is lined with knotweed, and what I'm gonna try to do is, once we get the plantings all in and we get all of our permaculture farm planted, I'll get rid of it. But this is another thing. This is the other side that we flanks our yard, and yeah. So anything that we can do to use this water is cool, but we're already down here to the edge of the yard. Anyway, so what that's gonna do is we're gonna have a row. We're gonna do 3 apples. They're 3 meters apart. It's 9 foot, and then we're gonna come in and interplant with our Cianthus here. I have some evergreens, just some decorative camellias going in there. Our second fruit row is going to be terraced as well, so this is going to mimic the other side. We're going to do slight terraces. We're going to do some mycelium inoculated logs, and then come back and backfill that with mulch. But for right now, we want to get the trees started. This was year 1. So again, this is moon glow. It actually was, I lost track of these ones as well because I had them marked out, but the beaver stole them and dragged them to the water, so I don't remember. We had a couple. We had an Anjou and man, I can't remember. Anyway, so we've got 3 pairs in now, so we want 3 of each. Here, I think I'm gonna have to get these out. These are my goji berries, and yeah, beavers like goji berries too, buggers. So anyway, I got this. What's this one? Nijisiki Oriental Pear. We got them on sale, so it was a good deal. But trying to rescue these. Hopefully they'll come back. I mean, you know, I was a little naive to think he'd leave them alone, but I got distracted with some other projects. So then our next terrace on this side is going to be our cherries, and so we have some Bing here, Sam, Van, And so that'll be our next one. Kind of tried to do them in order of the blooms and the blossoms, but I think we're gonna have to just intermix it a little bit because I need to get some more trees up here, and I'm not gonna be able to do it chronologically the whole time. So we have a lot of plums. These all came with the property. I'm just trying to, well, again, this was all ivy, so I'm just trying to get these guys protected for the meantime right here. Kind of get an idea of what I can do, but see, I mean, what can I do? I mean, I gotta put up some metal because these guys just come in and they just decimate it at night, and I'm afraid to let the dog out because I've seen the beaver. He's about the size of a small dog, and he's probably got razor sharp teeth size of my chisels. So lots of little saplings just from the droppings, but this tree really produces, and the problem is this is too high. So I came in here and I'm going to try to get this knocked down to a healthy height because this is doing some weird stuff as well, just struggling because all the ivy was clear up to the top. But yeah, I'd like to come in here with some more ceanthus. Just naturally these rhododendrons are coming in. So even though they're different soil preferences, they're doing all right. So we'll let them go. These plums that were here are already fruit, and so I have one nice sized plum, kind of a whole mix of plums right here, and this is what it looks like. So needless to say, it gets pretty wet. Just some decorative stuff in here for right now. This is going to be our Asian garden, but I think we're going to go ahead and plant it out. So I have a Japanese maple, lace leaf, and then there was a oh, there it is. This is a blood good. Kind of dropped it, and then in here we have plums as well. So I'm taking this down because this got really just crazy, and I need the canopy to kind of come down a little bit, let some more light in here. Anyway, so this area is totally open for planting. Just cleaning it up, and we were gonna put a pagoda here and do like kind of a cherry blossom and Japanese maples and just a lot of flowers and pollinator attractants and stuff like that, but I think we're gonna actually have to use this a little bit more than we planned because of it's the only spot that we get full sun. So anyway, so this is open. Anything that blooms with plums would be great, and anything that uses some full sun, because this is basically all we have right now. But anyway, so we definitely have the space. If anybody has some ideas of something we're missing, definitely would like to do some persimmon, which I think would fit with the Asian theme. So we have the water, so we have to do something with the water and something cool. We'll go up the hill a little bit. I'll show you the next part, which I do think I have baseline video of. So I did have the baseline year one video, but it was corrupted with no audio, so I'm gonna just go ahead and voice over this one. So what you're looking here is the upper portion of the lot, partial sun, partial shade. This is actually after this first line trimming of that was the machete. I had to go through and just get the vines off of the trees with the machete, and I took the small axe with me and just got some of the more established roots broken up just so I could see the trees. I did this about a year before I got in there with the line trimmer, and this is pretty much what it looked like. It all started when I tripped and busted my butt down the hill and landed in the driveway face first, and so that was the start of the Great Ivy Wars, if you want to read up on my blog about that one. So looking up the hill, this is looking directly up the lot, and kind of come around here, and we'll come back to this
I wasn't able to have as easy access until after I started cutting the ivy out. So back then I went this way apparently. We'll look at the edge of the property there, that's the drive. And this was basically what was accessible at the time. So I put some logs up here. And these are the mycelium logs that I mentioned later on in more depth in another video. But this is basically where all the storm damage from ice storms and winter storms came, and that's where everything was pretty much dropped. So it was just all stacked up in a big pile, blocking access to it. Pretty much could only get there with thick boots, and actually took that whole pile, culled it, took out all the stuff that was worth firewood, then moved some of it over into what I'll call the compost pile later. Cut a lot of it up for firewood, stacked a lot of it to the side. If it had good mycelium growth, I kept that for later. That's an attempt at some sawdust inoculation there in those bags. There's the pile of debris. It took, I don't know, months and months I took it from one side of the yard, put it on the other side, chopped some up, and it just took a long time. So anyway, you're looking up into here, and I don't think anybody's done anything in this yard for over 20 years, so at least I know I have good organic growth. And just coming down, I'm gonna come back around here up to what's going to be the trail, the mail trail, and you'll see that a little bit better in the next video, the next portion of this video. So after I discovered this, and the only reason I discovered it is because it ripped the front bumper off of the car, and trying to figure out what did that, I just discovered the concrete sticking out, and then came up here. We didn't even know this was really up here. Never even paid it much attention. And after I went through with the machete and killed a lot of the big stuff back, I found this well house. We thought it was a tree stump, but actually it was just a grown over old well house. And actually it wasn't even a well, it was a garbage pit. It ended up taking about 5 bags of trash out of it. And so that's also a little bit of an ongoing thing, as I discover a lot of glass bottles and cans. And so coming around here, this was, let's see, this looks like I came through with the line trimmer one time. This is the first line trimming. It's been about 3 line trimmings now to get it knocked back. Took me, I don't know, weeks with the machete just to even be able to walk back there without not falling on my face. Just piling up sticks that get in the way. Just doing a lot of handwork and carving it all out. Kind of wish I had the video. I'm wondering what I was talking about back then. Ideas, I bet. So here's the steps you're going to see in the next video. And then when we come up here, this will be the area where you see the chipper and the chippings. So it looks a lot different now. Like I said, I couldn't even see what was back there. I had to get the ivy knocked back just to see where I could get to, and then get the ivy out of the way so I could come up with the chainsaw and clear out that area. So also come around over to this side, and we decided we would make like a little bit of a more meandering trail just to get full access to the lot. And this portion is where you'll see in a little while is where I call the Salal Grove. So once I was able to get back there, started finding the Salal and get the ivy out of the trees and get some sunlight back here. So this is going to be a little bit of landscaped pathway, a wide pathway. We want to keep it a little bit open so we get enough sunlight back there that we can actually do some stuff. But anyway, I've gotten a lot of ideas and information from other people's videos, so throw me some ideas, comments, questions, subscribe, like, check it out.
So this was the area that was completely just choked up with ivy. I think I can link this with the interlace the other video. It's gonna be a little shaky though. It looks like I took out my phone. Anyway, we found this well house back here. Didn't know that was there. Trees are in pretty bad shape because they had to go up to the high canopy to get sunlight because of the ivy, and so just a little stuff, a little embankment, and then another Japanese maple lace leaf. Move some rhodies up here, give us some green and some color. A lot of salal. We have a lot of salal. It's a native edible fruit-bearing plant. Just does really great in sun or shade. So once we're moving into the shade portion, but found this path. It looks like it was part of a retaining wall, but I was able to turn it into some steps, and it looks like somebody at some point was going to do something up here. And so I've been tying up the ivy with the tow chains and taking it out. So we're making some steps up here into our, found a nice rock wall up here. We can get that cleaned out and maybe put a bench up here. It's nice in the summertime to get into the shade. So anyway, I had the cherries up here and they're just not going to get enough sunlight, so I took them down there after the beaver ate the other two. And again, like, this was just all ivy, and you'll see some more. I haven't gotten all of it out, but just there was a lot of debris, a lot of fallen limbs, and pretty much that's after I knocked it down last year. This is still coming back, so I'll get back in here. So this is one area that's partial sun, partial shade, totally open now that I've been getting this ivy out. So I'm debating, might be ginseng, or we might go with some sort of partial shade, partial sun landscaping. We want everything to be pretty much native and edible, but obviously you saw the camellias down there. So this is where we've been doing all our work. This was first spot I started to kind of carve out some areas. So we've been, all our cuttings come up here, get chipped up, which has been really nice because with the hill we pretty much just take stuff down. That's all plum. Smells great, very fruity. Anyway, so getting the debris out, and all of this stuff was buried, so we've been getting that up. I'll use that for firewood later. Ball all the ivy up into these balls, and then just let them dry out, and then in the summer they're just like instant kindling. But we have some logs I found buried. Those are going to become kind of palisades down there for the terrace garden. Just let those decompose. There's some huge ones up here, so cottonwood, a little trail up to the mailbox, and then here's some more mycelium logs. Just check out another video where I go ahead and inoculated these, and I'd have to watch the video to even remember. There's like shiitake, maitake, reishi, turkey tail, lion's mane, some other ones I forget. So here's some more. Actually, these ones I remember are reishi. I haven't seen them do too much, but they're getting soaked, and I think I'm going to take those down and put those in the garden. Here's my compost. Trying to build up the bank, because this is one of the steeper sides, and could be a potential for slides because, see, it's muddy. So this area up here is also totally open right now. We're going to keep this open, but the sides of this old original driveway need to be landscaped, so we'll do that. And this is pretty much open as long as we can turn here, but then my big dog, miss that dog. This is all landscapable. I have started to get in here just so I have access, and thing is this is also now the deer trail, so anything that I plant, I need to kind of keep in mind that, you know, some of it's going to be eaten by the deer, and it's just part of it, you know. My grandma always said, plant one for you, one for the thief, and one for the death. So anyway, up here we have some great area, but some real natural salal kind of grove going on, and so I want that to keep going. It's just a native species and it just does great here. I'm going to try to encourage it though and see if we can get enough fruit off of it to make some jam next year. So a little bit of this area is available, so if anybody has some good woodland planting advice, we kind of have some room up here as well. So anyway, that's the baseline. It's been a lot of work just getting the ivy. It's got a lot of fallen trees from an ice storm. Pretty good slope and some decent soil though. So anyway, that's year one. I can't wait to see when I can actually come back and do this video again and actually have some vegetables growing. Anyway, that's the start. Whoa, okay, I'm gonna put this down. It's really slippery.